Hi, ESL teachers. Okay, so pacing guides. I have the lovely Carrie, super worried about it, but it's done for you. So we really want you to stick to the pacing guide. Okay, so even Christina, even though she's doing mixed level, we're requesting that everyone do this. Okay, so the first week that students are coming back, you might have new students. I would acclimate them to the world of Canvas and make sure they have Burlington logons, walk them through what a lesson looks like. We're going to focus on Unit 1 for 2 weeks. So for the first 2 weeks, it's getting to know you. Wednesday is basically Burlington lesson day. That's when they're working on Burlington. So if you give them additional things, then you're just eating into your civics time, right? So Burlington is really, we're hopeful that, every Wednesday they're still clocking hours. This is how we net their hours on Wednesday, because then we can see who logged on and did the work. That's how we do it, right? So they'll also get the workbook, and they'll be working on that on Wednesday. And then they can still be working on their civics diversity project slideshow. Okay, it's totally possible. So every class is doing the exact same thing. So if a teacher or an admin comes to your room on, say, the 15th, they're going to be looking to see if you're in Unit 2. You should be in Unit 2 there. If you're still working on Unit 1, that's fine. But we shouldn't be speeding through these units, right? And we shouldn't be going so slowly that we're not really offering our students an actual curriculum. So that's really what we do is we offer them a program, and the program is to go from Unit 1 to 10 through the course of week to week, right? Through to June. So basically, if I'm a student, I can look on here and I can see what's going on, right? That's kind of really what we should be doing, kind of planning out where we are and what we're doing. So everywhere it says Burlington units, you can start to clock this as week 1, week 2. I know that Lepe did a week 1 where she culminated all of her workbook units and all of her Burlington lessons and her civics. And she put it in a slideshow and she walked the class through on a Monday. And then Friday, there were deliverables. So everyone really knew where they were. And so you also have an embedded community resource pacing guide, which shows exactly what you should be covering. So what is culture is attached. What is culture? And that'll be in blue. So that calendar is also online for you. And you can have this embedded. So it's really easy to kind of practice the interview and kind of see what I need to do. If there's no Zoom call, I must be doing Burlington. And that's how we have to start to train the students. So what we want to do is really focus the students on a program of ESL, right? So there's an actual program of what we do. And, we started over every time in August. Last semester we were short. So a lot of students, they didn't make it to Unit 10, or you were hopscotching around just learning the curriculum yourself, and that's okay. But now we have a whole bunch of extra time. So really the blue lesson is the Coapp, right? And it has the lesson there for you, okay? Right? So if you click on that calendar, you'll be able to see that Coapp. So if I'm an admin and I'm coming in, I'm guessing that somewhere around this week, you're working on lesson interview 2. You can't really throw it out and do your own thing. And you can't really open source it and just download something from the internet that you liked. Because even though, Christine is doing multi-level, she's still running our curriculum. So that's something really important to think about and just consider. If you all need help on what this looks like in your everyday, because, for example, Carrie's going to have rotating round robin, but all the ideas are exactly the same. Okay. So every lesson, if you're teaching ESL 1, ESL 2, ESL 3, you're still doing ventions, you're still doing ventures, right? You're still doing the same exact thing. So if I'm doing the Ventures Arcade, super easy, or if I'm just pulling up the unit, everybody's doing personal information in January, right? And then we're going to merge into the end of January, Unit 2 at school, all right? So somewhere around end of February, March, we're going to do friends and family and health. We're going to do it again, okay? Perfect timing for vaccines. We can address it again. New ideas, talk about it again, okay? Review the grammar, right? And we're going to go keep in March around Unit 5. So around March, we're going to do midterms, okay? April, we're going to have time, shopping, and work. Time, shopping, and work. So we're going to do 6, 7, and 8 in April. It's a longer month. There's a couple of holidays in there, but that's okay. Okay, some of our students will have these topics reviewed, right? And there'll be an overlapping civics unit here. And then in May, we're going to do daily living, and unit 10 is free time. Okay, so we can embed these things and we can review these vocabulary ideas with them. Okay, so it's really important that you be consecutive. It's really important because if we do another round of um, intake and registration, we do some testing. What we want to be able to do is say, all right, you're entering, they're on unit 5 around town. Okay. That's what they're starting with. So they'll be able to join right away and they'll have their workbook. They'll be able to see the calendar and join. And they already know that they're joining in the middle of a semester of a unit. You don't have to go back and reteach. You don't have to do that. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're unit 2, same things, same topics. Okay. Unit 3, same things, same topics. So all you're doing is giving the different units some different vocabulary focus, but it's the exact same topic, and you're just improving fluency and doing some strategies for learning in English. And I know there's so many things here. So the idea of teaching English is not to teach them every single solitary thing. That's why we're spiral teaching. So in the first half, if you didn't get to a couple of the lessons, that's no problem. It's not a problem at all. It just means if you have students who are going to stick at a level again, they're going to be getting the same thing over and over again. And that's what we do at Adult Ed. We have a program, and when they master that program, they move on. We don't, once in a while in our warm-ups and in our exit tickets, we can pull in from open source, and then the teacher can pull in different little nuggets during the lesson. That's fine. But we really, really want them to stick to a program. Okay. So the calendar is all set. You don't have to worry about January, right? February is all set. Okay. It's all set up for you. Second week is the Coapp Civics test. Now, keep in mind this window can fluctuate a little bit. So if you have a student who arrives late and they need like 2 or 3 extra hours, can you test this student who's not ready to test? Can you test them the following week? Sure, you can. But what you need to do is just double check with Rosalie. It's a Coapp test. It's not a civics test, and it's not a post test for CASAS. So you don't really need to worry about that. And we have some flexibility when it comes to this. All right. So hopefully that helps you kind of relax. You all know what you're teaching. You all have your books. If you need some kind of how am I going to work out the schedule? What's it going to look like? The person it really matters with is going to be basically Carrie Lacusin, because she's coming on campus. But for everyone else, I can work with you individually. We can do a mock-up of what that looks like, and you can post that calendar on your homepage. Okay, so that would be a really important thing to kind of take a look at. If you need a mock-up schedule, we kind of worked on that before we left, and it's just letting students know where they're going to be moving around, right? So, yeah, so schedule. Let's see, sample schedule. So because we have so many merged classes, right. So if what I would do is I would create a schedule that all your students can see. They can see it so they know where to go. And then they'll say, "Oh, well, she's still in ESL 1 right now. She's still doing that. She's gonna have her break." So if a new student joins between 9:25 and 9:35, there'll be a break slide for them to take a look at, and then they'll be able to see their teacher. Every Wednesday will be a Burlington day. You really don't need to waste your class time having them do Burlington. They should really be practicing their speaking skills with you, right? And with each other. Okay. So here's a sample AM schedule. There's a sample PM schedule. And if they're coming on campus, for example, we'll have them go to the hub where they can be working on different things. So for Carrie, she might have them be working on something to get their 3 hours in. So hers might look a little bit different, but certainly we're not just teaching civics for 3 hours, we're embedding all of those things. So if I'm teaching civics, right, I'm still going to be working on talking about school in my country, right? So I don't need to do something different. If I'm talking about diversity, I'm going to be talking about personal information at school, friends and family, and what health is like in my country. So these first 4 units are all really, really important. So I don't really need to worry about, oh, I can't teach ventures because I have to teach civics. It doesn't work like that. It's blended. So if you need me to model a lesson and you need me to write a lesson plan for you, and you still need help with that, after all of our training, please reach out to me because that's really important that you should be doing that. Everyone should be doing that from now on, okay? Really, really important. All right. Thank you.